All right. So for today, hang on. Okay. Can you guys see my screen?
Yep.
All right, awesome. So one quick thing. I want to look at the earnings this week. I already posted in one of the rooms in there, but I also wanted to make sure, we kind of have an idea what the earnings will look like this week. There are some interesting ones. The Best Buy is interesting. Big Lot. Then there's some Chinese ones in here as well. I'll be watching out for CrowdStrike because of Palo Alto did well last week. So CrowdStrike and OKTA, those will be the interesting ones. Definitely to look out for. PVH is an interesting one, but I'm not really. This is a retail stock, and we're gonna look at it in a minute. And MongoDB, they always do well. So maybe this time around they'll keep doing well, but you never know. This market is September is always bearish, but MongoDB, we'll have a look at that real quick. Uh Campbell is okay. These are defensive stocks. So people owe them because they pay dividends and they're really good. But I'm not sure if it's gonna go really up, but you never know. Food is expensive this time around. So a lot of these food companies, I think they're getting a little bit of heat, but we'll see. But these two guys, like I said, we're getting by Thursday, Friday, we're gonna be getting into the Labor Day weekend. So I'm expecting some sort of, maybe bullishness into that weekend. Uh, you never know what's gonna happen. But Broadcom is more like a semiconductor one. A lot of the semiconductors, we'll have a quick look at them again today. A lot of them have been really going down for some reason. What, Friday sell off? Lulu is another good one reporting this week. So those are the ones I'm really looking forward to. Lulu, Broadcom. I might not play any earnings to be honest, but I'm just looking at them. But Okta, MongoDB, these two are really MongoDB especially. I think they did about $100 the last time. So we have to find a good, lottery play if you want to play it. As far as Express is concerned, I think Macy's did well, but I don't know. But CrowdStrike, Okta, those are the interesting ones as well. I'm thinking maybe we'll get some interesting. Chewy had a bit of an upgrade last week. I don't know why they upgraded. You never know with these upgrades, but Chewy had a nice one. And yeah, like I said, a couple of Chinese tickers here, Baidu and Futu. So you never know, they might pump them up again, like like they always do. If they go up, Alibaba is gonna go up as well. So that's some sympathy play right there we could do. And I want to follow that up with the this week. These are economic releases. I like to follow some of these ones personally. It doesn't change, obviously, the way we trade, but it just gives you an idea what's happening around the world. Germany CPI year on year will be coming up. They did actually have a positive GDP this month, Germany. I think they had a 0.2 or something like that increase, better than what they were expecting. So I'll be keeping an eye on the CPI for Germany. If it goes down, if the inflation in Germany goes down, I think we'll get some boost on Tuesday. So that's something to keep in mind. If you see a big spike in SPY on Tuesday, it's probably because Germany reported a good CPI. If you see a dip in pre-market for SPY, this is Eastern time, 8 a.m. I posted in one of the rooms as well. I think that'll give us a good indication, the CPI for Germany. And Germany is a strong, obviously, talking about Europe, Germany is one of the strong countries there. So that's something to keep in mind. However, for USA, there's the job openings coming up. This one is key. They want to see it going down because all the Fed's been doing is just slowing down the market, but not really affecting the market. So if the job openings are going up, that means, we have to see. I think the initial one was about 10698,000 or something like that, but we have to see if it's going down. Then they say the Feds will be happy. Whatever they're doing is working. So something to keep in mind. Manufacturing PMI for China is another one as well. I think they're really suffering right now. They're going through a lot. So we'll see what happens there. The other thing I look at when I look at these economy releases, I posted it, like I said, I posted in one of the rooms in there. I looked at the Feds actually talking at what time. Some of these guys talk and they say some things and kind of pushes the market down or up based on what they say. But Fed Williams messed up Bostic on Wednesday. Wednesday's pretty packed. Excuse me. Wednesday's pretty packed, so I'm expecting some sort of reaction there. Then obviously on Thursday we have the jobless claims, which is really key, and on Friday we have the unemployment. So those are the things you just have to keep it back in your mind. You don't have to necessarily follow them, but just it gives you an idea what's going to happen in the market, and basically just makes you fully aware in what direction the global market is going, facing. But let's jump right into it. SPY was one of the ones we were looking at last week. Well, obviously, everybody looks at SPY, and I mentioned last week this candle that formed on SPY is definitely telling us we're about to reverse. And you can see we touched this top trend line 3 times, and we've gone down since. We came down from around 476 to 416 the very first, I think in January. Went back up, didn't even get there, come back down again. Then we retested it again at 459, came all the way down to 378, did almost the same thing, went back up, then came. So it's literally identical pattern. You can see right here, it came down to this bottom line, went back up, didn't really go up, came down, went back up again. Second time, went all the way to the bottom trend line, came back, didn't get to the top, came back down again. And it managed to find his way all the way back to the top again. I'm not saying it's going to come back down, but if it does, well, if you actually look at it well, what's been happening is every time it comes down, after touching the top, it goes below this. It goes below the last time it touched that line at the bottom here. So what I'm saying is, if he's going to come down here, this is really, 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 really bearish in my opinion. This massive candle here is really bearish for the week. If he comes back down, we have to see what happens. One big thing that is not included here is on the I think in 2 weeks time we will know what the CPI for USA is going to come out, which is the inflation rate for USA. I think we're going to get some consolidation around maybe after next week. Maybe by next week we're going to get some consolidation. The goal here is to figure out how low are we going to go before we bounce. So I was looking at, real quick, a couple of things here. I was looking at this spot here, 400. And I saw 400 had a little bit bounce. If I go to the daily, you will see more bouncing here. So 400 had a little bit of bounce right here. This was last year, obviously, May last year. We had a nice, so there's a good support right here. Another one I was thinking was, if we keep going down, maybe the news is not great. Maybe CPI keeps going down. Another one this one is not too bad, which is the 389 area. And if you come down here, 389 was a good support around there as well. So you can see basically 389 here. On Friday, I was actually open this area right here. Let me draw this real quick. And I'll tell you why I'm looking at some of these previous reaction in the market. I was thinking this was going to work, but this did not hold at all. So I was thinking this line here around 405 was going to hold. And lo and behold, we closed at 405. But see what happened during after market. It came down to 403. So that's telling me that support right here is not strong. It actually broke that support. So if I go to the 4 hour and you look at what happened, it stopped at 405. Let me zoom here and put a line here so you can see my chart. Let me know if I'm moving too fast. I'm just recapping what happened on Friday. I haven't started going into what I'm looking at this week. So 406, sorry, was the one I was looking at. 406, 82 or 88. And you see what happened there. It broke down below it right here. We actually lost that support. It was good support for like about 3 days here. Then it ran up again. And it was also kind of like a great support. This drop here was the last time, was the CPI, sorry, not the last time, was CPI we had in June. It came all the way down, and you could see it actually held for like, about 8 days or thereabout. The white stripes are the days, the blue stripes are the pre-market and the after hours. I'm using Weibo. You could see basically he held here until that news came out, and it dropped pre-market, then it kept coming down. And this is exactly why I want to focus on this. So I'll spend time here real quick. One of the things you have to understand is when market drops, a significant drop like this, in my opinion, I've always seen that it doesn't recover immediately. As you see what happened here, it dropped significantly. I think it dropped from 409 all the way down to 401, like $8 drop. It didn't pick up immediately. This one was a special occasion, but still, that massive red candle, usually market follows it the next day with another red candle. If it's that big, that is, this is a massive drop. And I think this was on a Friday or thereabout, I can't remember. But you see what happened here, it dropped again. The CPI was really bad there, so maybe this one was more of an exaggeration. If you see a massive candle like this, you're more than likely to see a retrace with news. If there's a good news out there or some catalyst, it's going to bounce back, which is why I brought this up. I was looking at this. I don't see any news coming out on Monday. So on Monday, I think it's going to be a balance. People selling off, maybe coming back in to buy at a very low discount for some of these stocks, might push us up a little bit, but it won't go that far. You see what happened here when we had a massive, this was, I don't know, this is 518. A massive drop here. You can see it tried to come up on Friday, sorry, next day. It didn't really do anything. Let me zoom in here. You see that drop here? And it tried to come back. It didn't really go back up. Then the next day followed with another big red. Then it started to come back green again. That's what normally happens. And this is a good example of what might happen tomorrow. We might see it slightly coming back up. There may be a sell-off at the end, but it will kind of balance up around there. Let me go to the daily chart. So this is 518. Let me find 518 here. I don't know why it does this. It takes me all the way back. So we're talking about May, 18th of May. So you can see right here, this is the candle I was looking at. It came all the way down. Then the next day, it kind of like went up a little bit. The buyers came in a little bit. Then it sold off. I think it gapped down here. Then, it got pushed up. Then we went up from there into this consolidation. I think we may see this reaction here, but I don't know. This sell-off past Friday was intense. Like this came down from 420 thereabout all the way down to 405 during the day. Then it went down to 403 in the aftermarket. That's telling me that's a $14 drop in SPY. That's an aggressive sell-off right there. So I don't think it can happen that we're gonna get a massive green, but I don't think it's gonna happen. Like this candle was massive. For that sell-off to happen, I think we'll probably retest 404 or 400, sorry, which is this line here. Then maybe bounce back up to 406, or maybe even retest. So the reason I'm saying that 406, like I was saying a few seconds ago, this 406.88 is a good. I think we'll probably retest this line. I just don't know when, but I think this 400 looks very possible. It could even bounce around there, maybe 402. But 400 is a good level as well to watch out for. And I'm going back to that 406. So this is the reason I'm saying this might become trouble for us for SPY going up. This area here is going to act as a solid resistance. So you have to keep that back in mind as well. It did around here as well. You can see it bounced on this line. Once we lost this on Friday, this 406, I knew, it's going to be a problem going back up. So that's what I'm looking at SPY, and you can see that line. We've never dropped below. Let me see that line. The last time we dropped below that's 406. So I'm trying to keep you under 30 minutes here. No, we normally go too far, and we're almost time out here now. But you see that line here as well. It kind of played this a mini role of some bounces around here, but I like the 400 better. If we're gonna bounce this 400, this 406 dropping below 406 was trouble. And I think this is going to act as a solid resistance, maybe retesting. We need some sort of good news or some catalyst to boost it up. But my overall market is we got to start looking at puts. If you're not already in it, you should already be in it. If you're not already in puts, you should be in October puts by now. If you want to play SPY, that is. Otherwise, you could just wait till September, end of September to go long again. You know, as you can see here, this is pretty, academic right now. Comes down, goes up. So we're basically playing lines right now. We wanted to retest this line down here. If he touches this line at any point, or maybe if he gives us a double bottom around 370, 367, I'm not saying it's gonna go all the way down there, but you never know, right? If he bounces around 400 or even 388, I'll start looking. If he like a solid bounce, like 2 green bars, daily on daily chart, right? Then we'll probably start to see whether we could break this 406. So if you want to look at puts, I mean, they're really expensive now because that Friday was a massive drop. But if you want to look at puts, keep at the back of your mind, don't play September puts because we're already in September, right? Unless you're day trading or swinging for like 1 or 2 days. If you want to go put, some of these ones are really expensive now. You probably want to go, they're expensive now. So I wouldn't even suggest going. But October put play are the best in my opinion. Just keep in mind the Greeks, the delta, and the theta. I talk about this every time. These are the things you need. Once you identify the direction, and we can see that we're going down because we lost that 406, in my opinion. And you can see here, just look at the Greeks. Make sure your delta is more than your theta, right? So that gives you a little bit of room, and you want to buy time. The implied volatility is still low, which is okay. Some of these ones are decent. I don't think we're going to get to like 350, 340, but you never know. One thing I did see, though, was there was a massive volume. Let's go to 390 something. Yeah, 395. There was a massive volume on 395 on Friday. 49,000 came in. Same as the 390. 390 had 53,000 coming in, and they had 65,000 there already. So if you look at the open interest of the 390 put, I'm not saying buy it because it's expensive, obviously, but if you look at the open interest by Monday, 9:30 Eastern time on Monday, I could bet that this is going to be 100,000 and this is going to be close to like 75,000 or something like that. So that's telling me, and for somebody or some people to pay for 53,000 trades at $900, right? They're not going in because they want to make 100. A lot of these people, when they go into a trade, once you see this big trade at a very long time frame on SPY, they're expecting that move to happen. So they're probably expecting 390 by the next monthly, which is September. Notice I didn't. Notice I'm going to the monthly expiration. So let me show you what I mean by that. When you go, so most of the expirations you see on your phone and everything else, Yahoo, they'll show you the weekly, they'll show you the regular, and they'll show everything. Regular expirations are the monthly. If I do regular only, it will only show me the monthly expirations and the quarterly. So these are the regular expiration dates for any option. 16th, which is the next one. Then the end of the month, which is the monthly, the quarterly. Then you have the monthly. Then you should have, I'm surprised, they normally have 2 in December as well. But anyway, so these are the monthly. These options are the ones, the hedge fund companies, the really expensive ones, very rich people. These are the ones they go into. They don't do the weeklies. They go for the monthly, and what they do is, if they want to sell an option on the 16th, they will buy the 21st. If they want to sell on the 21st, they will buy the month before, after. The reason is because of the Greeks I was talking about. So let me show you something here real quick. I know I kind of deviated from what I was going to talk about here, but I think this is useful when we're selecting our option. So if I go in now and I say, you know what, I can't afford 900, and this is expensive, 250 for 350. Let's say I have big money and I want to spend, right? And I look at this 350 put, and I look at the Greeks. The delta says 11, this is 18. I look at the volume and the open interest. So I could see there's a bit of fluidity in there. So look at this 0.11. Delta for puts always says negative, but what that means is 11. So every time SPY goes down by $1, I'm making $11 on my 211. So from 252, if you add 11.11, it will be 263, and this will keep changing and keep going up. So every day, I'm losing 8.08 as well. So if he like right now, let's say SPY is 405, and by the end of Monday it turns to 406, I will be down by $6 or even 11 or something like that. But look at the Greeks here for 250 for this particular option expiration, right? If I go to the 16th September, and this is where the comparison becomes interesting. 16th September 350 is way cheaper, right? You can see this is like $60. The other one was 250. And the volume here is interesting as well. The open interest 78,000. But look at the Greeks. The delta is less than the theta, right? Which means if this does not go my way, I'm going to be losing more money. So even though it's $60, you could end up losing everything by the time SPY is around, let's say, 410. So that's the way you got to think about these options. Like, it's not necessarily the price. Sometimes it actually makes sense for you to go really far out, like go to December, end of the year, let's say 16 December, and play something ridiculous here. And I'll show you something now. So all the options are going to be really super high. But look at the 300 put. The 300 put, the delta is still more than the theta. As a matter of fact, all the deltas here, all the way up to don't play when delta is the same thing, because this one is, you won't see anything less than 0.1. You won't see any difference in your option unless it really goes your way. Like these ones are 44% because SPY dropped $14. That's a big drop for you to see some changes. Like it dropped $14, you only saw 30% increase here in your option. So that doesn't make any sense. But you can see what I'm trying to point out. The further out you go, your delta is really good, because even if it doesn't go your way, you have time to get out of the trade and not lose a lot of money. Anyway, we'll do more about option Greeks later, but I just wanted to make sure we kind of understand. We've noticed the direction now is going south. One sec. The direction is going south. Obviously, we can see here. We've seen this one. It went all the way down. It did almost the same thing. Came down here, bounced back, and it came all the way down, to the trend line here. Tried, then you had a double top, then it came all the way down. It's not the same thing. I think it's doing exactly the same thing here. Look, it went down, came up, and they had a massive red candle. Here we had a green candle here, followed by a red. So, which is what I'm saying, this massive sell-off. We may come back and retest. Maybe it will gap down, then it will come back and retest this 406. This is where you have to get a put. Someone say something? Okay, this is where you may have to get a put. Well, yeah, go on, sorry. Hello? Anyone says anything? All right, so if we gap down tomorrow, I'll be watching this 406, this level here, this support right here, 406.88. Write that down and set your alert around it. If we gap down, I'll be watching 400. It mustn't drop below 400. If it goes below 400, don't get a put. It's already done. It's already gone. But I'm expecting a retest of this 406. This is exactly the same thing you get when you're playing, when you're playing it up, right? When you're going up, when we break out, like this scenario here, for instance, when it broke out, even this one here, you see it broke the 400, came back to retest, then it went on. Same thing, let me find another one for you. Same thing maybe around there. So we broke out this line here. Let me draw this line real quick, and I'll show you exactly the same thing I'm expecting to happen. It just happens, these are the things. So here we broke out, we came back to retest, then we went on. Retested here as well, retested this breakout here, another breakout here, we broke out here, came back to retest and went on. So I think it's going to be the same thing here, but you have to think about you're going up for the calls, you're coming down for the puts. Don't be scared to get puts. There's nothing wrong with it. You know, it's just another direction. We're trading directions. We're not trading. I love to trade directions. I don't care whether it's a call or put. I just want to make money. But because of the RSIs are really low, I think we'll get a retest of these 407 or 406.8. And if it fails, you want to get it puts. So like I said, if you don't want to go too far, you could do the end of the month. Like I said, this is the regular, the monthly expiration and the quarterly expiration. You could do 30 September. If you're not already in the put, you could do, you want to stay close. You don't want to be too far. This one is okay, but I like the 21st October one. That one gives me a lot of time, but you could do this one as well. And you could target. So our target when it goes back up to 407. As a matter of fact, you could do 916, but like I said, the closer you are to the shorter your expiration time is, the shorter your swing is. You don't want to play too long in it. You could look at, if you get a 916, you want to be getting out by Thursday or Friday, depending on how deep in the money you are. So if you look at a 916, let's have a look at a 916, for instance. I'll tell you what put to get. If we retest 407 and we don't break out, I'll look at the 916. Let me reduce this. Here we go. This one's expensive, but the Greeks are not bad. This one, oof. Yeah, they're expensive, man. Like, because of what happened on Friday, a lot of these ones are expensive now. So the retest is probably going to reduce the cost for some of these ones, but I won't go too far. Maybe the 366 or 360. Let's see. Yeah, maybe the 360 is not bad. It has a lot. Nah, this is not good. Let's see. Yeah, they're expensive now, so you gotta be really careful. Like, it depends on how much you want to pay. But I like the 380. That's expensive. I'd rather get a 350 for October than get a 380. Like I said, it's almost the same price. You can see 100,000. This is an expensive one. So you gotta really consider which one you want to pick. But the other thing I was gonna, anyway, when I see, I think someone needs to be on mute. I think someone needs to be on mute, if you don't mind, please. One of the things I see, though, if you look at, like I said, the market in general is going down. What that gives us is, it gives us, when market is going down, it's not just SPY, everything else is going down. But one thing I've noticed, though, is oil is not going down. So that gives me, so if I go to Yahoo Finance real quick and I pull up the crude oil, let's pull up crude oil real quick, see what the price is right now. Anytime now, come on. So if I go to Yahoo Finance and I look at the crude oil came down to, all right, here we go. Came down to 92.97. I was looking at this the other day. I wanted it to stay right above 95, but it came down to 92. You had a little bit of double top around here, around 95. Let me do full screen. I don't use I don't really use Yahoo Finance, but you can see, yeah, we had some sort of like a double top around there. Basically failed. It's testing this 95 zone and it failed. But I like that when it sold off with the market. So I'll be watching this. I wanted to break this 95 or 94 area. If it breaks 94 and it holds nicely, I think it give us a good opportunity to jump into oil in general. So watch out for, I don't know if anyone watches this. I like to study the future for, this is the crude oil basically. If this goes up, every single oil ticker is going to be going up. So that's where he's been working. Like, he's been going down, like you see here. This is the 1 day candle. If you go to the weekly candle, you will see almost the same thing as well. We're kind of like basing around there, consolidating. Let me see. I don't really use this one, so I don't use this chart here. But let me hold it. So you can see right here, we broke out, had a double top, rejected, and it's kind of holding on this support line here. which was the resistance before, right? So
Crazy.
I'm hoping we start to go up from here, because one of the reasons I'm saying that is you have to think about Europe is going into winter season. And there's obviously Russia war is still going on. So I'm expecting there's going to be limited supply of oil, which means obviously there's more demand. The more the demand, the higher the price goes, right? So I think the less the supply, the more the prices. The more the demand, the less the supply scenario leads to price increase. So I think price is going to go up. But I really want us to cross over 94, 95. That will give us a nice. That will give us a nice increase into October, November. So if you go back here and you look at things, we were looking at Oxy the other day, right? We traded Oxy a couple of times, as a matter of fact. Oxy, and you can see exactly what I was talking about here. Oxy had a nice breakout here a couple of times and kind of consolidating around here. I want to see Oxy go above.
Hey, you told me
And when I step outside. Yeah, but
okay. I think Darren was talking, but Oxy kind of like went above. It kind of broke out twice. This was on a Friday, but it came down. We traded it up on a Monday and Tuesday. We had a nice trade. I think 100% of that one, and it's kind of built, kind of consolidating around there. It came down here though, but he hasn't. I'll be watching if he comes down to 72. Then we could up on again if the crude oil, the RSI is coming down here as well. So I'll be watching Oxy around 72 area. If he gets there, if he doesn't get it, that's fine. But if he does, I'll be watching to jump on this one and maybe trade it back to 76 again. As you can see, yeah. So it might be some sort of like retesting this breakout point. But I think we'll know by 6 p.m. or maybe by Monday, we'll know if Europe is going through challenges again with oil or gas. I think the crude oil is going to pick up. So keep it, keep that back of your mind. Oil sector is probably going to be moving very soon, depending on the crude oil. Like I said, the crude oil, just watch out. If you ever trade one of these ones, just look at this. If he breaks this line here, let me see if I can draw another line here. This is not fully accurate, but just bear in mind. If he breaks this 95, I think we're gonna maybe retest even 110 or even 100. So keep that back of your mind. This is gonna be a very good indication for all sectors. Well, we're 38 minutes now. Does anyone have any question before I go into some of these earnings report? Any question from anybody? All right. Any question, just stop me at any time. Feel free to interrupt. One of the ones I'm looking at, like I mentioned, is MongoDB. This one, the only reason I'm looking at it is just earnings. You never know. This is more like a lottery, right? If they do well, they do well. If they don't, but whenever they have a lot, anytime MongoDB has a earnings report, they really do well most times anyway. In most cases, they run up like $100. Some of them they even run up. I think they've had earnings before that they did about 100 or something like that. I think it was around here. It was a massive volume coming in. It went from 395 to 500 or something like that in space of 2 days. I'm not sure of this current market right now, but every time they've had earnings report, they've always gone up. So I like that we pulled back on Friday by $10. One thing to note though is there's a gap below here. So if we fill this gap up to 344, I'll be trading the earnings report, just as a low to it anyway. They're not MongoDB is not really cheap, but if we get to 344, I'll be looking at the 380C. But one thing you have to keep in mind is because of earnings coming up, a lot of these implied volatility is going to start rising. Right now it's about 90, 84%. Some of these are really high. Oh, I'm looking at the monthly here. Let's see if we do all of it. I'll be trading. I'm maybe trading if we fill the gap all the way down to 345, 344. I'll be looking at some of these, but these was expensive, so I'm waiting for it to really deep to give us opportunity to come in. I think the 380s is probably cheap, depending on obviously how we open on Monday. The volume is low, but this is massive, and obviously I'm not going to pay 1,000 for this, but I'm just saying if it comes down, let's see what happens. If it really comes down, I might even do a 400 call just to see, because I know this particular stock, there's a lot of people. I mean, it really moves if they have a positive result. And I think looking at all the cloud stock like CRM, Workday, they've had a good earnings report, and I think this one is probably gonna beat as well. So keep this at the back of your mind. We want to see the gap fill up, all the way down, then trade it back up. It may not even come all the way down. It may bounce on this previous wedge at the top here and just bounce up. But I think this might be 380 if we have a good report. Another one we're looking at was CrowdStrike. I was talking about, did I mention CrowdStrike? I think I did. CrowdStrike is another good one that we should obviously watch out for. CrowdStrike has been kind of like consolidating. It did really well on Thursday. And I think Friday everything sold off, obviously. But he kind of held his support around here. Let me draw the line here. He held his support around there, which I think might be interesting. Let me put a mark here. So if he holds his 194, I think it might go back to retest the 200. You don't have to wait. You don't have to wait for the 200 before you actually. Let me see. What's this? The earnings. Yeah, this is expensive as well. So when you see to play earnings, and I'm not advising anyone to obviously focus on playing earnings, but one of the things I normally do is when I see like some of these ones, the implied volatility is extremely high. The volume is not great. The price is extremely high. What you can do is you could go out like in 2 weeks and look at something far out there. You will see, because I've gone out 2 weeks, the implied volatility is 60% compared to 80% or 100% here. So when I went far out, I gave myself a little bit of room. You could play some of these ones. Like I said, the Greeks are not always great, but you could see the volume here as well is way better than the one I was looking at just now. The open interest on some of these ones, like this 245, I don't think it's gonna get there, but this is 7,000 open interest. They probably sold, only about 24 sold. So you never know, they might still be holding. So I'll be looking at 240, depending on if we close above 200, maybe on Monday. I think this has room to go up by Wednesday. Like I said, if I get into anything, I'll put it out there. But keep in mind, earnings report plays are always like a lottery, so I wouldn't really bank on it. The other one to look at is Best Buy. I think Best Buy surprised us last time. Is it Best Buy? Yeah, Best Buy is another one to look at. Let's have a look at the chart. It's not looking too bad. It came down here. This is not a good sign. It broke down from the support around here, which was resistance around there before. So we want it to go above 75. We want it above 75 again. That's where we could trade up to like 85 and just see what happens there. But I like the RSI is already low on the 4-hour. If you go to the daily chart, the RSI is coming down, but we broke that support. That support there. I don't like that. So we have to see whether it comes back. If not, you have to wait for it to come all the way down to maybe 71 and see if we can trade it up. But Best Buy, I think a lot of people, going back to school, they probably bought a lot of tech stuff, and Best Buy has been doing a lot of discounts and stuff like that. So keep an eye on Best Buy as well. This might be a good one. A quick earnings, Monday to Tuesday flip. But yeah, I want to buy at a very good support. I want it to come down to 71, or maybe if it breaks above 75 on Monday and it stays above 75, then maybe we could trade the 80 call if it's not too expensive, obviously. So the prices will change by Monday. These will go down. Right now it says 114. I think by the time it opens on Monday, it's probably like 80 or even less than that, where you can see the volume coming in. I think a lot of people bought this just hoping it breaks 80. But like I said, I like to see that 75 holding. Otherwise, I'll wait for 71 where the price will be really cheap. OKTA is another one as well. It did really well last time. I think some of us traded OKTA. Last earnings report, it did about +10 or +11. But yeah, like like everything else on Friday is sold off. But one thing I was looking at for when I was watching everything on Friday was, is there any stock out there holding holding the support? And you could see here, every time it bounces on this line, it goes up. So this probably might be a good one. Every time it bounces on this line, it goes up. So we want to see whether he holds on to 92.92 MAC. If he does on Monday, I think this is going to retest 100. And they have earnings when. So OKTA is sympathy to CrowdStrike. So this earnings report here might help this one go up as well. So that's something we have to keep in mind. I think OKTA might be the best one to trade actually. So let's just see what happens. If he holds this 92 MAC, I think I'll probably trade the 80 or maybe 105, sorry, 100 or maybe the 105 just as a lotto. Let's see what the price will look like. But yeah, they're not cheap right now, but I'm hoping by Monday, all these prices will come down. I'll do a quick refresh on Monday and I'll put out what I'm looking at. But I'm looking at the 105 here, or I could even go long and look at the 120, maybe for 916. And kind of see, yeah, these ones are like cheap. Maybe come down to the 110 for 916. Hopefully the prices on Monday will come down. I think this 110 might be a good one for 916. If CrowdStrike does well, it's gonna boost this, and I think there'll be a lot of buyers. We may not even need to hold this to earnings report. We can even sell by Wednesday morning if CrowdStrike does well. That's something to keep in mind. And that's it, really. I don't want to spend too much time today. I think I said 30 minutes, we're already done 47. But keep in mind, on Tuesday, like I said, I'm looking at this Germany CPI. You might change a lot of things. If they actually report a good number, I think we're going to have some good trades. If not, I think I'll be looking to Labor Day weekend. And beginning of the month, really, are people selling off? Are they buying? I think we had a nice sell-off on Friday. I don't think buyers will rush in because September is always bearish. But that sell-off was huge. So I'm thinking a lot of the buyers will probably be thinking, you know what, maybe there might be some discount here and it will be a quick flip for us if you want to jump in. But OKTA, CrowdStrike, Best Buy, obviously SPY, those are the ones I'm focusing on this week. And I'm looking at oil sector. Like I said, I'm not touching oil until I see some movement towards this 95. Or even if I bring it down a little bit, maybe even to 95.3, and I want to see us break out. If we break out from 95, I think oil sector is going to really move. So keep that back in mind. And you could get some of this information online. Just Google what's the price of crude oil, and set your alerts. If you don't have this on your, I use Thinkorswim. So some of these ones, they already tell you what the prices are like. NASDAQ and everything else, but this is the one I'm looking at. If this goes up on maybe not even near, let's put it down a little bit. If it goes above 95, I think oil sector is going to really go up. Like you see, we had a double top here and we kind of bounce back. If you go above 95, yeah, you want to be in Oxy again. And like I said, we're going to be trading the ATC. But I'll put the plays out there. Does anyone have any question? I know I've been rambling now for like 45 minutes. If you have any questions, just let me know. But is there any particular stock you're looking at you want us to jump into in the next 5 minutes?
Hey, can you hear me, Ken?
Yeah, I hear you, man.
Hey, I didn't have a question or stock to look at, man. I just want to say I appreciate the hell out of that.
No problem, man.
SPY play on Friday, right when the Fed was getting ready to talk, man, that was pretty fucking sweet, I have to say.
Awesome. No problem, man.
It did exactly like you said. The contracts were like $155 right before the meeting started, and then as soon as they started talking, they dropped to 55. I bought 11 contracts, sold them about 5 minutes later for double. Almost got triple, but I wasn't quite quick enough on the sell order. So I had to settle for 110 a contract.
Wow,
I just want
nice.
to say I appreciate the hell out of you, brother.
No problem, man. Appreciate that, man. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, if I had known, I could have told us to even, once we sold out, because I did about the same thing as well, bought and sold real quick. I could have told us to even day trade the puts, but I wasn't expecting that sell-off, to be honest. Like $14, it was too much. If I had known, I would have said, you know what, let's go for another ride. But, it didn't really happen as fast. Everything was too fast. I just didn't want to risk it. Like this green candle here was everything doubled or tripled, but I didn't see these two candles here. If I had known, I would have told us to buy puts when it broke 415. But I was thinking, it's not gonna sell off, but he went all the way down to 404. So yeah, we could have had this like both ways. Play the call, play the puts, but it
Oh
happens.
yeah, that call would have been the appetizer for the main course. We'd have jumped on that foot train.
I know,
Oh,
right? Yeah. Once
yeah.
he failed at 420, it didn't really occur to me because I already made money. I was like, yeah, let me check everybody. Everybody's making okay. We don't need to do anything. Then it kept going down. I was like, man, we could have played the puts, man. Oh, well, it's all right. Yeah, nice one, man.
Yeah, that's all right. I mean, we made money. I ain't complaining.
Right. Yeah, that's awesome. Let's see how it goes on by tomorrow. If you get some bounce all the way back to this 406, we could ride it down to 400 if he fails. If not, we just have to play it safe. I think there's a lot of opportunities. September is always bearish. I just don't know. Man, looking at the chart, I just don't know how far we're gonna go. The last time we did this, we went all the way down to 379 from 460. I don't know if he's gonna go all the way down to like 360, but I think 400, 390, yeah, 390 might be coming up. 390, 395. Yeah. But one last thing I failed to mention was Apple. Keep it back on mind. Apple is coming down as well. Same thing. Ran up to this trend line, came all the way down. They have an event on September 7th, I believe it is. So you might get some bounce already, but it's a gap here to fill for Apple all the way down to 157. So I think I personally think that gap is going to fill, but you never know. They might come up with the news and everything bounces. But that 157 is a really good line to watch out for. I think Apple might go down. So if you want to play puts for this one, if you're not already in, you might be looking at 160. It might be expensive now. Like I said, we dropped $6. So everything is going to be really expensive going down. But 157, I think, is coming. If it bounces around that 157, if it doesn't bounce on 157, I'll be looking at 150, which I think will put us right towards the end of September, or maybe mid-September. I'll be watching some of these stocks. Let's keep in mind, especially the tech stocks. Let's watch them. There's some levels there that we played the last time. I think some of these ones, when they come down, they're gonna bounce really high because right now the prices are really good. Like Amazon is like 120, 140 or whatever it is now. Google is 111 or something. These are monster companies, man. Like, I think this discount is out there. We just have to keep in mind. Let's not miss this opportunity. I think David put some call out here from like 130 around up to like 180. I think he's gonna do the same thing as well. If he bounces around 150, maybe 157 or 150, I think he's gonna go back to 180 again. So we're not gonna miss this one. Obviously, we can't get into the puts now. Like I said, Friday already dropped, so everything is gonna be really expensive now. But let's see if it does a retest of 166 and it fails, we could ride it all the way down to 157. I think there's still a lot of opportunities out there. I'll put some plays out once I get them. I'll be extra careful because September, you never know. And it's always low volume month, people selling off. And, after then in October, people start buying again for the Christmas rush. So yeah, hopefully, we get some good trades before then. But I'll be watching oil sector, even the energy sector is something to watch. Sorry, one last one. I did say last one. Another one to watch. I've been talking about this TZA. This one is more like a reverses SPY. And as you see the chart I'm looking at here, it came all the way down from 53 to 26. I think the next level is going to be 32.9. If he breaks that, it's going to go up to 36. This one is actually cheap, but it doesn't move that much. So you're better off playing SPY puts than playing this one. But that's something you have to keep in mind. You could buy some of these ones and just let them ride all the way up to 40 and probably sell, and switch to calls. So I think this is something you could buy and just hold a few just in case you want to edge your market or edge your portfolio. These are really good ones. TZA and UVXY. They're very good ones to edge your market. And gosh, I keep saying one last one. One thing to watch out for as well is Bitcoin. Watch out for BTC. I know they have an event in coming up very soon. But yeah, we dropped. Oof, yeah, it's gonna be red Monday. Look at that. We already dropped, man. We dropped from 24. Yeah, it's gonna be red. It's a big oof. Yeah, this is gonna be a red Monday. Friday, this dropped and it keeps dropping. It might come down to 18. And when it does, you want to be looking at Mara, Riot, and all those, Bitcoin stuff. If we don't bounce back to this 21 before Monday opens, it's gonna be a red Monday. But let's see. Anyways, thanks for joining us today, man. I don't want to waste you guys' time. I know it's Saturday, time with family, but yeah, I appreciate everyone joining today. Let's have some fun tomorrow.
Thank you, man. I appreciate you.
Yeah, appreciate you, man.
Thanks, Ken.
Thank you. All right, bye now.